Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me as always is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's
How
up?
much? It's been a good week here. It is, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's what is it? It's
November
18th. It's November 18th.
It is.
1999. Oh my god, I hit my
Look
head.
at a fucking calendar.
I was trying to. That's why I hit my head. Oh my goodness! So you may notice we're a little late in the day today. It is
Sorry,
It
y'all.
is November 18th, 1999. But we are a little late in the day today because we had a double episode and just lots of stuff happening. So we had to take a little extra time to parse through the episode. As you all know, because I'm sure you watched it, a double episode, Family Tree and What's in a Name.
Yeah.
Two related subjects, I suppose.
They usually only do this for a season finale.
Yeah, I know.
They're doing it this time just randomly in the middle.
Oh, it's like, I guess, I don't know, a mid-season finale, I guess.
guess.
Because they're going on break for a little bit for Thanksgiving and everything. They talk about Thanksgiving in this episode. They're talking about a lot of things in this episode, obviously.
There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot of genealogy, like origins, family history, stuff like going on and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know where you want to start. We obviously have the giant storyline of Steve and
Janet.
We have the storyline of, I always want to call her Tori Spelling, of Donna and Gina and her parents. We have, what else do we have? Like
Gina and David and Dylan.
Gina and David and Dylan, and a little bit of Dylan and Kelly.
And Kelly and Matt.
Yeah. I guess that's everyone. Nothing much is going on with Noah.
I was thinking, like, is there anything with Donna and Noah?
Noah's just like, oh, what's up, Thanksgiving?
Weren't they talking about, like, living together or something
like Kelly's a little upset about him because he's in the house.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
He's, like, basically living with them, but she doesn't like it.
And she's upset because another storyline, the last storyline, I guess, her mom and Mel are getting a divorce, separation.
Well, they're already divorced.
They're already divorced, but they're not custody. They're having a custody battle.
Well, yeah, I mean, apparently they got divorced because he cheated on her in the past.
Yeah, which we totally forgot about.
Yeah.
Till she mentioned it.
And then now they've reconciled but never got remarried.
Right.
So they've been raising this child together as though they're married.
Yeah.
And so now they have to go through all the legal separating stuff, even though they're not married.
And they hired separate lawyers. World famous fucking orthodontist or whatever, Mel Silver, hired some quote unquote barracuda. And Donna's mom, whose name I forget, Jackie? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Jackie? Jackie decides to go with
Her
Matt.
daughter's boyfriend. Isn't that a conflict of interest? Why would he even take this case?
It's a conflict of interest. What fucking law does he practice? Like, you can't just be an everything lawyer. It's not like being a general practitioner as a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, and a general practitioner wouldn't perform fucking brain surgery. That's the equivalence of defending someone who's on death row, trying to get their thing commuted or whatever, defending a guy accused of robbing a place that actually raped your girlfriend, that you don't know about it yet, and doing fucking family divorce law or whatever. They're different kinds of law.
They are.
This is so fucking frustrating. He can't do every kind of law.
If it weren't the last season of the show, I'd say we should write to the writers and be like, what is wrong with you people? Stop it.
In the season finale, he is going to argue before the Supreme Court. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
It's just, it annoys the hell. It doesn't annoy anyone else.
Yes, it annoys me.
Late feed 1994 at AOL.com. Does it annoy anyone else out there that is it just me, or is it just fucking weird that he does every kind of law?
Mm-hmm. It is fucked up.
Oh my god. It would be like if, because they're in the hospital, a decent amount on the show or whatever. It would be like if they went to the hospital and they saw the same doctor every time. The same doctor was delivering Janet's baby, as was dealing with Dylan's drug problems, as was
Yeah.
if it was the same doctor every time doing all these different things, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. Ridiculous.
And you know what else is going on with Matt's law practice is because Kelly is mad at Gina.
Yes.
She gets Gina fired, basically. I mean, even though, he comes up with a bullshit reason, he's doing it for Kelly.
He totally is. It's discovered, it's like everyone knows in this episode, that Gina's the one that called Jackie and basically ratted Mel out.
Right.
I was sort of on Mel's side in the past couple episodes because he didn't cheat. Mm-hmm. He didn't have sex with one of the dancers. He didn't kiss one of the dancers. I didn't even see him get a lap dance. He sat down at a table, or was at a table, in a strip club. That's what he did wrong. But then she mentioned about the cheating, and I was like, oh, all right. I mean, I get it. Like, I don't know if I was a woman. I don't know that this would necessarily rise to the level of we're getting separated now. Like, our relationship needs to be done. But I can see, like, if he said he wasn't going to do stuff like that anymore and he did, like, and how can she trust him? Like, he says, like, he didn't sleep with somebody. How does she know he didn't at some point?
Exactly.
Like, because there were prostitutes there.
Yeah,
whether he knew it or not.
Yeah. So what does he do? He introduces Gina to Kelly's mom.
Yeah, because Kelly's mother, like, they're going back and forth, and like she's like, oh, we got to talk about all this stuff and everything. He's a piece of shit, and we got to get him and everything. And Gina lies to David and says because David's like, oh yeah, Kelly's saying like you had something to do with this or whatever, and she's like, oh, silly, and he's like, but you didn't, right? And she's like, Kelly she thinks things, She never outright lies. She never says no. Mm-hmm. And that should have been a big clue for him. But, she has a vagina, so.
Yeah, and she used it last episode, so.
Yeah, and she uses it again this episode, too.
Yeah.
But then he talks to... What? I got something on me?
You keep rubbing your facial hair against the microphone while you're talking, and it's making a sound.
Oh, sorry. Then he talked to his dad, and his dad gave him the 411, so, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah, so she doesn't admit what she did, and he just chooses to believe her over Kelly, which is kind of stupid because, like, Kelly wouldn't, like, lie about it.
Right.
And then he fucks her again.
No, you're skipping.
Oh, I'm skipping things. What am I skipping?
I don't even know if you were listening to me. I think you were listening to my facial hair.
Maybe I was.
You went from, like, I got us right up to the point where he breaks up with her, because that does happen. Uh-huh. And then you were like, yeah, and then they're back together or whatever.
I didn't say they got back together.
So, he doesn't have sex with her. He, like, says, well, no, they do. I guess they do have sex. She's getting flowers from Dylan. We're getting into, like, a whole thing here. But, she's getting flowers for Dylan. It's all over her fucking room or
pink
whatever.
Roses. Tons of pink roses. Light pink, dark pink, bright pink.
Yeah.
Everywhere is pink.
What do you think? Do you think she's light or dark pink?
Dark.
I think dark too. I agree. But anyway, so I love you so much that you answered the question.
I didn't understand what you meant right away.
Oh, okay.
I just thought you meant what was her preference. And I was thinking she's evil, but then I get it now. And that's just wrong. And I bet she's not even, like, pink.
No?
No. She's probably, like...
Maroon?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Because she's, like, a little bit darker skin, so I don't think she's necessarily pink. She's probably going to be, like, darker than pink.
That's what I'm saying. It's dark pink. They're all pink.
All right.
Dark pink.
You would know.
Anyway, so, I mean, I guess... No, that's not true. I mean, like, brown, too. But, like, yeah. Anyway.
Moving on.
She's not black. So... What was I going to say? Now I'm thinking about that. Oh, yeah. So he says, hey, I fucking talked to my dad. Fuck you. You're going to hurt me. I don't want this anymore. And he, like, slams the door on her.
Yeah.
And then she has to come back and beg him, and it's like, we would be good together.
I'm so sorry.
I told Dylan about us.
Which she does. She does tell Dylan off.
She does. Like, she has ample opportunities to go back to Dylan, and she does not.
Yeah, I think it's weird and fucked up how hard Dylan's trying to get her back when he didn't even want her in the first fucking place.
Yeah, I know. It is really weird. Because the whole thing is he said to her, he's like, oh, we don't have a future together. And she wants one. And she's like, oh, well, fuck that then.
Yeah, makes sense. And he's like, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe we do. No, you just don't want to lose her for whatever reason. You want to, like,
someone's
own this
playing
woman.
with your toy now, and you want it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let her go.
But going back to the thing we were originally talking about, I guess, Jackie, it's established that Jackie doesn't know what Gina looks like. She's only talked to her on the phone.
Right.
And she comes in, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, Gina's in there and everything. Matt's in there. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just, like, I know I didn't have a meeting with Matt, but I wanted to talk to him about whatever. And she's like, no, that's okay. I'm going to leave. And Jackie's like, no, it's okay. And Matt is like, hey, it's okay. You can stay, Gina, or whatever. Says Gina. And I thought, like, that was going to clue her in, but it doesn't. And she's like, yeah, it's fine, young lady, or whatever. And Matt finally goes, Gina Kincaid, you should introduce yourself, or whatever. And then Jackie's all pissed off.
Yeah. And then he's like, you see how upset she was?
He's like, you don't understand how rude you were.
Which she wasn't in any way.
What she said was, she's like, look, I'm really sorry about the whole thing, but I think I did you a favor in the long run, is what she said. And she's like, you're destroying my family. That's the, the favor or whatever. Like, Mel did this.
Yeah.
This is on, like, what she did is fucked up, trying to blackmail him and shit like that. That's a separate issue.
Completely.
She is not to blame for the destruction of their marriage. Mel is.
Well, Mel and Jackie,
I guess.
Because Jackie's also the one who made the choice to separate.
Right.
I mean, she could have tried to work it out. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to victim blame here, but like you said, it's not like he was fucking somebody.
Right.
So I think it's on both of them. And the whole episode, she is talking shit about him just viscerally in front of their daughter.
Yes. And being a child of divorce, I know that situation, and it sucks.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But yeah, they're babysitting the whole time too. It's like Kelly and David are just kind of passing. What is her name? Erin?
Erin, yeah.
Erin back and forth because Jackie is a mess. And yet Jackie continues to collide with Erin and manages to say shit she shouldn't hear over and over.
Right. And the little, I mean, not a great actress, but, a little girl. So, like, we'll give her a pass. Fine. But yeah, she's like, I want a fairy tale ending for my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah. Kelly was reading her a story and she's like, it was a fairy tale wedding. And she's like, did my parents have a fairy tale wedding? And she just completely ignores her.
Yeah. It's like, no, not really. There was an episode about it, but it was a season finale episode. It was decent.
I don't remember their episode, their wedding at all.
Season 5 or something like that.
Is that where Kelly met the guy from Melrose Place or something?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, it was. Setting up for the wedding. Yes, you're right. Good job.
I know it was a wedding, so.
Anyway, so, yeah, that's kind of that storyline. So, yeah, Gina gets fired. He's like, you don't understand how rude you were. You're fired.
Yeah, bullshit. So, Gina has no job.
Yep.
She's living in a hotel room that Dylan's paying for. Mm-hmm. He's continually sending her flowers. Yep. David gets mad at her at one point for that, which is stupid.
You didn't throw the flowers away. It's like, come on. I mean, like, what the fuck?
They're her favorite.
Yeah, and it's not like she had sex with him. Like, he sent the flowers. It didn't work.
Yeah.
She can't help what he's doing. Like,
she takes a bunch of the flowers to... Oh, never mind. That's jumping way too far ahead.
No, okay. Well, you can say it. Oh, no. Yeah, you don't want to say it because we haven't talked about that.
No, yeah.
I know what you're talking about now. We don't want to talk about that. He brings... Because she says something like, oh, pink flowers are my favorite or whatever. Pink roses. And he's like, oh, make a mental note or whatever. David says that.
Later, he brings her a pink rose bush.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Do you know what's cute and sweet about it? My stepdad planted a rose bush for my mom.
Oh, nice.
Because he would never buy flowers, and he told her he'd never buy flowers because it's a waste of money because they die.
Yeah.
So he planted her a rose bush. He's like, now you'll have flowers every year. And then when he passed away, she still had flowers.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's romantic.
Very.
So that's when he sees all the flowers, and he's like pissed. Mm-hmm. And he and Dylan have this like weird like, are we friends? Yeah, we're friends.
No, they're not though. Why are they saying that?
I don't understand why they'd be friends. They both saved each other from drugs at one point, but like, what else is keeping them friends?
Yeah, I mean, like they had some very brief overlaps in their stories, but they were never like buddies.
No, David was always a bigger friend to Steve, and then like obsessed with Donna, and that's kind of how he was in with everything.
Yeah, and then Dylan was more with like Brenda, Kelly, Brandon.
Yes, exactly.
So,
yeah. Brandon and Dylan were like good friends, like
best friends.
They wanted it to be Steve and Brandon, and that's kind of like it did stay that way, sort of like they were, really good friends for a long time. But like, because I don't think Dylan was supposed to be like a permanent member of the show.
Interesting.
Not at the beginning. You're looking at the poster. That's after obviously he became a permanent member of the show.
I mean, it's season 1.
But I remember reading somewhere that like his episode was supposed to be like just an occasional character or something like that.
Okay.
So, I think it's funny the show started out about two kids from Minnesota fucking like, in the world of Beverly Hills, and it's like, we're fish out of water, it's all new to us and everything. And all of them are gone.
Yeah.
The entire Walsh family is not on the show anymore.
That's true. And they were the stars.
Yeah.
It is fucked up.
Yeah.
It'd be like having like Roseanne without Roseanne.
Exactly. Fucking
Couldn't do it.
Weird. What would they even call it?
Lord knows.
Were the Connors. Meet the Connors.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah, they could
Just
call
Dan.
it Dan. Just Dan. Oh my god. Anyway, so that's pretty much that storyline, I guess. I think we've plumbed that as much as we can.
I guess.
At least without getting into bigger spoilers. So, I don't know. You want to start talking about the main thing that's happening?
Sure. So last episode, Steve and Janet had their wedding, and now they are desperately trying to have their honeymoon.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like, apparently she got stuck in her wedding dress.
He was so overzealous with the zipper that he like broke the zipper, and she wouldn't let him rip the dress because one day her daughter might want to wear it.
So does that mean they didn't have sex?
Correct.
That's ridiculous. I mean, it's a skirt. You can have sex in a skirt.
They needed you there.
I guess.
Sitting in the corner.
Let me talk you through this.
Right.
So they don't have sex on their wedding night then.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they decide to go to a hotel for...
They're at a hotel.
A different hotel, though, right?
No, they get a different room. Because they have the honeymoon suite, and he lights a fire, and he's like...
yeah, he tries to be all romantic.
Yeah, we got y'all that dressed. Now I'm going to get in your pants, like... kind of thing. And then all of a sudden she's like, do you smell smoke? And he's like, yeah, I got a smoke scented candle. Like, what?
Pine, yeah. Well, he had like tons of candles lit everywhere, but yeah, he lit the fireplace. And she's like, did you open the flue? He's like, I didn't see a flue.
Yeah, what's a flue?
Like,
Fucking
dude.
rich person.
Why is that a rich person thing? Don't rich people have fireplaces? I think that's just a stupid thing.
But they have a butler to open the flue.
Sure. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they have to move rooms. So now they're no longer in the honeymoon suite.
They're in some shitty little room. And she's like, I don't want to fuck in a shitty little room. I'm a spoiled princess now. Let's go home.
Yeah. Which, like, whatever. If that's, like, she's pregnant, if that's what she wants, he should have just taken her home.
Mm-hmm.
There then is a polka band rehearsing in the hallway.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, can you please go to your room? Sure, it's right next door to your room. So they get polka music all night.
It's like this section of the episode was written by John Hughes or something like that.
Right.
It's like an everything that can go wrong does go wrong situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it reminds me of Home Alone.
Yeah, or planes, trains, and automobiles.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so they still... I don't think they ever had sex.
No.
The whole episode.
They've had sex before. She's pregnant.
Well, yeah. But when she finally is going... Oh, he gets the polka players to come and play for them. And they're, like, dancing and being all real sweet and romantic. And then she's finally going to, like, fuck him. But then she starts having contractions.
Yeah.
So...
That does apparently happen sometimes if you're close to to the end of pregnancy and you're sexually active. Supposedly, it like can spur stuff out.
But they weren't sexually active.
No, but she was getting ready. She's probably like, I don't know, her muscles were probably spasming. Or
Oh my God, I don't know what you think happens.
I can only judge it on your reactions to seeing me. So, anyway, she does go into contractional labor.
Yeah. So they head to the hospital.
The baby's early, but she's like what? She's like 7 months pregnant or something.
Well, she said that I think the baby's 6 weeks early.
Oh,
which,
okay. So she's in the 8th month or whatever, right?
No.
7th month.
Well, okay. The end of a pregnancy, full term is 40 weeks. So 6 weeks would be 34 weeks, which is 7.5 months.
Yeah, there you go. So
So,
she's almost to the 8th month.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is early.
It's early. It's not horribly early, but it's early.
I mean, my mom was at 30 weeks for me, and that was bad.
Yeah, well, you were the size of a pea or whatever to listen to her say.
I was 1 pound,
I could
15 ounces.
I could hold her in my hand. I put her in my pocket, give her an M&M.
It's true.
No, you were what? 1 pound what?
1 pound, 15 ounces, so just under 2
Jeez.
pounds, and I fit in the palm of my father's hand.
So fucking, oh my God.
Crazy.
But here's the thing. I'll bet you didn't fit in the palm of your father's hand. I'll bet you he could hold you up with one hand, but I'm sure there was spillover.
Yeah, probably.
Like there was
Actually, I
spillover.
think the picture I have of him holding me in his hand, there's spillover.
Yeah, there's got to be, because you couldn't have been hand-sized. I mean, my hands are probably not quite as big as your father's hands, but
She had to buy doll clothes for me because baby clothes didn't fit,
it's crazy.
and they had to cut diapers.
Wow.
And that's like after a while when they actually got to take me home.
But that was 30 weeks. You were, and she is 34 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks is a lot though, especially towards the end of the pregnancy. But yeah, I mean, it's not good.
Yeah.
So it's not good.
No.
They're monitoring the baby and everything. The heart rate's gone down, so they have to take her back to have an emergency C-section.
And they don't communicate at all. Like, I was getting really upset watching this. Like, they just storm in the hospital room like, we've got to go now, and they're not telling them why.
Yeah.
You've got to have an emergency C-section. Why? What's happened? Like, what the fuck? Tell people things.
Yep. And like, so yeah, they finally do tell him, but they're like, Steve, wait out here, like, and he can't. He should be able to go in.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him in, probably because it was an emergency or whatever.
I guess,
and they didn't want him in there if things went bad. But like, somebody's supposed to be in there.
Yeah. So, she has the C-section. Her placenta tears,
And then her and the baby lose a bunch of blood.
and I guess because they're sharing blood, is that why the baby also loses blood?
Yeah, because the placenta is where the baby's getting their blood and nutrition from. So if the placenta tore, then they were both bleeding out through that.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That makes sense then. Because that confused me a little bit, but I knew you would know better than me. So he has to sign to give them blood transfusions.
But they just come at him with forms like, you need to sign this.
Sign
He's like,
this.
how, what's going on? I think this is probably a really accurate description of what it would be like in a fucking hospital because people can be heartless.
Yeah. Sign the fucking form.
Yeah. I know you're upset, but you just need to sign this. They need blood. Like,
Now, here's the thing, though. Like, that's not that big of a deal to sign for blood transfusion. I don't think. Like, that's a pretty easy decision. It's not like, hey, one of them's gonna die. Tell us now. Wasn't like a situation like that. Where
Yeah.
it's just like, hey, they need blood. It's like, okay, yeah, give them blood.
but I just think they could have been a little gentler with him.
Oh, 100%. 100%. They handle it very poorly. But I think that's, like you said, probably an accurate description about how it would go.
I thought it was weird too that nobody was with him. Like, why didn't he call one of his friends or his dad or his mom even? Like, somebody could have been waiting with him. He's just by himself going through this.
Yeah, somebody should have been there. It's fucked up that he had to do this alone. So she gets the blood, the baby gets the blood, and she's okay. By this time, all the friends have arrived. The baby is in the NICU, the
Neonatal intensive care unit.
Yeah, NICU, I believe they call it. And the baby's on a ventilator because she's not breathing properly, which, is
It's normal.
Yeah, because the lungs are basically the last thing to fully develop because they're breathing water.
Yeah,
while
crazy.
They're in utero. So, they have to extubate the baby because the baby is probably gonna breathe on its own now. They scare him with the whole she could go blind. Over oxygenation can cause blindness in any age.
Because they were worried about allowing them to extubate her. Because I don't know, they're afraid that it won't work and she won't be able to breathe. But they're like, come on, this is not good for her.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I was afraid the entire time that they were going to kill this baby.
He was. Oh no, don't do this. Don't do this. I knew it was going to be fine because it's a fucking TV show.
But, I mean, they gave the baby a name and everything. And
what was its name?
Muriel or something?
I don't remember.
It meant Tower of Strength. I
Okay.
remember her saying that. I don't remember what it was, though.
No.
I don't think it's Muriel. It's something.
Miriam, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it was Miriam. Yeah, something like that. It was an M name, I'm almost positive. But anyway, I was like, oh, they gave the baby a name so they can fucking put on a tombstone or whatever. I was really worried they were going to kill this baby.
They got to give it a name if it's going to live, too, right?
Well, I understand that, but I'm thinking a writer, a TV show writer. But at the end, this is basically the end of the episode. We're not done, but this is the end of this episode. They, they're all invited in. They're like, yeah, she's fine. I'm holding her. Hold your son, Steve. Or your daughter, I mean, Steve. Here's the thing. This show sucks a lot of times. And there's a lot of bad things that happen in the show. There's a lot of things we get upset about, and you guys love when we get upset about things. But I have to give praise to the stuff that works on the show. And what's his name? Ian something?
Ian Ziering.
Ian Ziering and the woman that plays Janet
Cannot help you there.
are really good together, and they're really good at conveying this emotion. I could feel their fear, and I could feel their relief, and it was emotional. It was they were given some heavy stuff to work with, and they did a very good job of it. I think they were both really good in this episode.
There were some tears.
But yeah, they did a good job. So the baby's fine, and now they're married and they have a child, and that's probably where they're going to end.
I mean, that's what generally kills a TV show, especially when that started when they were in 9th grade.
Right. So, I guess that's true. God,
or 10th grade, maybe.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I guess you're right.
Crazy.
But yeah, they will. I assume they're in their. This feels like getting everyone in their final resting places, so to speak, for the show to be done. And I feel like Janet and Steve are now there.
Yep.
That's the first cog to go in. Other stuff will happen with them, obviously. There will be episodes where they're like, oh, no, you changed the baby.
I can't ever sleep.
Right, stuff like that or whatever. But, essentially, their story is now done. There is no more character arc or development for them to go through. There will be some hijinks for them to go through, but they're set. Yeah. And now we have to do the other ones.
But they are much better in this kind of situation than all the stupid shit they've had them do over the seasons.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Their little wacky adventures and stuff. Yeah, this is much better.
Very.
Yeah, I think Ian Ziering is a dramatic actor. Yeah. I don't know if he knows it or not, but I think he is.
I agree.
But anyway, so that's kind of that storyline. The other biggish storyline that's going on is that Donna buys for the... This is weird, too. Have you ever bought a gift for somebody and then used it?
No.
Before they use it?
I don't understand. I think maybe what she did was she was going to make their family tree for them. Maybe that's why.
Oh, maybe.
Because she bought this software that makes a family tree, and she was looking stuff up for them, and she's like, I can't find anything on Janet's family because they weren't born in this country. Right. I can't find... And she did find some about Steve, I think, but he was adopted. So how much did she find, really?
Seriously. Have you ever done genealogy?
Yeah.
Have you ever, what do you know about genealogy?
I mean, like, what do you mean? What do I know? I mean, I've made a family tree in school where, like, you write, like, you start yourself in the center and then your parents and their parents just branches off. And
my Aunt Marion has done, like, extensive work, like, tracking down newspapers and, like, calling different, things and stuff like that, getting, like, publicly available records and shit like that from different governmental offices. Like, she has a whole huge book. And I guess they've compressed all that into like a computer thing to help organize it better.
That's interesting. Yeah. My brother's done some of that kind of stuff too. Not me.
It is interesting though to see like, kind of where you came from.
Yeah, for sure.
So Donna decides to do her family and she discovers that Gina has listed as her parents, her mom, the aunt, whatever her name is.
Bobby,
and her dad.
Donna's dad
as the dad. And
Dr. Martin.
And she's like, that's probably fucking a typo or something. So she goes and talks to her dad about it. And her dad's like, oh, fuck. And he's like, yeah, look, it was the 70s. It was crazy. There was this party. And like, and she's like, oh my God, don't talk so loud. Mom will hear. He's like, Mom fucking knows. Like, how could she not?
Yeah, apparently they were in a fight at this party. And then she just...
It was a key party. Let's be realistic.
Well, she said there was a fight. I don't know.
This recontextualizes a lot of things, though, because she cheated on him later, and that seems more justified now.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we always thought he was such a saint and she was such a villain, but he slept with her sister at a party.
That's fucked up.
And had a child with her.
Who he has nothing to do with.
Well, not nothing. I mean, like, she's Donna's cousin who's been getting her hand-me-downs her whole life. And as Donna gets upset and points out to her parents, Gina's father, the man who raised her, died when she was 5.
5 years old.
She's like, you could have stepped in and helped guide her and been there for her, and you didn't.
And their excuse is, well, what will we tell people at the club, basically?
Yeah. What
That's
the fuck?
Fucked up.
At least, they have money. At least they could have been giving money. Not just, here's the hand-me-downs from the child we actually love.
Destroy this person's life, because you don't want to be embarrassed at the club. What the fuck?
Awful.
So Donna is rightfully pissed off. The parents suggest giving Gina money to go see her mom or whatever in Denver. Gina talks about how like growing up in Denver and stuff like that and everything. Oh, the mountain there, and stuff like that. Is this a continuity problem? Like,
I think so.
I feel like when they first introduced her character, she was from, quote, the wrong side of the tracks. She lived outside of Beverly Hills, like in the valley or wherever the Cretans live in California. I don't know California geography that well. But like, and she got all the hand-me-downs and stuff like that, like you said, and everything. She's like, oh, like I was just always on the outskirts and stuff like that. But now they're saying they're from Colorado and Bobby lives in Colorado?
You know what else I don't understand?
What?
Is Gina looks like she's at least like Italian, if not like Latina.
Yeah.
And it's Donna's white father and her white mother's sister, who I'm assuming is also white.
Well,
so how did they produce this child?
Yeah, we saw Bobby. She's white.
How did they produce this child?
I don't know.
I don't think they were planning this from the beginning.
Oh, fuck no.
Why do they do this weird shit?
I don't know. But there's no way they were planning this from the beginning. But yeah, like Vanessa Marcella or something like that is the actress's name that plays Gina. And I think she is at least partially Latin in origin, I believe. So yeah, like it doesn't make a lot of sense. She has black hair.
Yeah, black hair, tan skin.
Yeah, like, and I think she has brown eyes. I don't remember.
I don't remember her eyes.
She has dark eyes, but yeah, like that. We saw Bobby. We know Dr. Martin. There's.
They did not produce the actress that plays Gina.
No.
Sorry.
Like, what is fucking Dr. Martin's parents both Samoan somehow?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. But anyway, so Donna gets all pissed off, and then like she's gonna go tell Gina, and she starts to tell Gina because she's like she deserves to know and everything, and Gina's like Gina's kind of pissed off at Donna because she stormed out of Thanksgiving and stuff.
She calls her spoiled.
Yeah, which, like, I get from her point of view, like, kind of.
Yeah.
But because she doesn't know what's going on. But also, Donna did reach out to her, and that hasn't happened much in this show. So, like, she's getting sympathy from her. I would have maybe seen what was going on.
Yeah.
But she's talking, because it was Thanksgiving dinner that she storms out of, and she's like, you know, well, how was the rest of Thanksgiving? Because she's trying to build up to tell her, hey, you're my sister. And she talks about how, like, she remembers her dad and, like, stuff that her dad would do for her, like, with cooking and food and Thanksgiving and stuff like that. And she's like, you know, it's like how I keep his memory alive and stuff like that. And, like, I think I said it when we were watching it. I think Donna probably realized it at the same time. Telling her this, it may be right, may be wrong. I don't know. You could debate it. But it's definitely going to rip some of those memories away of the man she thought was her father.
And she is going to be filled with so much more resentment than she already has.
Yeah.
Like, she's talking about how her mom would just give her a bucket of chicken and put her in front of the TV on Thanksgiving because she'd be with some guy. Yeah. That was her life. Her life experience sucked.
Yep.
And it could have been a whole lot better.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I assume that will go places. I don't think we're gonna just completely abandon.
Well,
that.
no. I mean, Donna says something to David too, like, you know, we were together for so long. It's weird now that you're with Gina, who's my cousin. Like, and in reality, she's thinking, my sister. You're sleeping with my sister.
Yeah, it's like it is weird. He has something for the genetics of that family.
I guess.
Donna's mom should watch out.
God.
But yeah, it's weird. So something will happen with that. I guess the last thing to talk about is the like kind of the triangle, Matt and Donna, not
Kelly.
Matt and Kelly and Dylan and David. So a quadrangle kind of.
How does David factor in here?
I mean, we sort of already talked about it. David's a little jealous and stuff like that. He does accept Gina back because eventually Gina's like, but I have boobs.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's right. All right, I forgive you. Don't hurt me anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah, Dylan had told Kelly that he showed up on her wedding day when she was supposed to marry Brandon. I don't know if that's from last episode.
It's from last episode.
What?
That's from last episode. But I just remembered another thing, another storyline that has to do with Dylan. It's like, it's sort of intermingled here. The gay guy. Mm-hmm. The gay guy that got beat up. Like, that's part of this, too.
Well, yeah, like, Dylan is using his money to try to control this community center, which is kind of, like, I get he's trying to do good, but I don't like the rich person flex that he's doing.
It's kind of a fascism that he's doing.
Because, I mean, they're wrong. They have a gay coach, and they want to fire him when he's outed because he and Dylan had gotten beaten up.
Yeah.
Again, that was last episode. I feel like we didn't talk about this shit.
We did.
Okay. I have terrible memory. But yeah, they want to fire him, and he's like, you fire him, then you're going to lose all my money, and you're going to close down. And this bitch who's in charge of the place is like, we were fine before you, we'll be fine after you. And that's not
They were shutting
true.
down. That's the whole reason that the maid's kids were in the hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
She's crazy.
The writers don't remember. Their memory is worse than mine.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's what I think.
But so he succeeds because she's like, fine, we'll keep him on or whatever. But her son's like the star basketball player on the team or whatever, and he quits the team, and then like 8 other kids quit the team, and the gay coach is like, this is fucking what I didn't want. I didn't like. Dylan has this bullheaded attitude of like, well, fuck them. Like, if they're intolerant assholes, fuck them. These kids don't fucking deserve that opportunity or whatever. And he's like, they're kids, Dylan. Like, they are underprivileged kids from broken homes, from abusive families that come here for a little bit of joy, like, every day. Like, we're stealing this from them. And, like, so he resigns. And then Dylan won't let it go.
Of course.
Just decides to have a conversation with the kid, the
quarterback guy or whatever.
It's basketball.
Oh, whatever. The star player.
Point guard. And he's like, hey, saying that your parents are bigoted fucking trash and shit like that is hard, especially when, they're wrong about things and everything. But sometimes you got to, stick up for yourself. Sometimes you got to think for yourself, even when your parents are telling you, gay guys are going to touch you or whatever. And, by the way, just a quick aside. In sports, there is this attitude of, just homosexual panic and fear and shit like that. Of, oh, they're going to be in the locker room, they're going to be looking at my cock and shit like that and everything. All this stuff. It's big macho shit, and it's it's all over sports. Professional sports, college sports, high school sports. I guarantee you, based on numbers alone, that in professional sports, in college sports, definitely in high school sports, there have been a number of gay players.
Sure. That
have never said anything, that have never, been openly gay. Obviously, we've never had an openly gay athlete in college or professional sports. No, never once. And not in team sports anyway. Maybe in tennis or golf or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But not in locker room sports like that. But I guarantee you, there have been them for sure, 100%. Course. You have showered with a gay person at some point in your life, probably, if you've played any kind of sports. So, sorry, it's not,
and nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking stupid.
It's not
it's all
people
stupid.
Act like they're animals with no control.
Exactly.
It's stupid.
It's ridiculous. But anyway, so he says this to the kid, and the kid decides, I'm coming back to the game. I want you to be the coach.
Yeah, he goes and stops him after he packs all his shit and he's leaving. He's like, you need to come, coach. I won't play without you.
Yeah, he doesn't actually say that. He's saying he's going to play, but he's he wants him to be the coach. So
whatever.
I think it would have been better if he said, I won't play without you. That would have been a more powerful statement. But whatever. Anyway, so everything works out. He comes back to coach. So good for him.
I don't know. In real life, I don't think that would have worked. He'd already resigned.
Fuck no.
So it'd been done.
In real life, a kid wouldn't listen to some random fucking 23-year-old millionaire that walks up to him on the basketball court. He would have been like, I need adults.
Right.
What the fuck? But anyway, so then finally, love triangle.
So
Dylan's planned this Thanksgiving thing
at the center,
and he wants
a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, he wants Kelly to help him.
Yeah, he enlists Kelly's help, and they're spending time talking to each other,
and they're prepping the food before the actual thing, and they're being all flirtatious, and it's
bad.
Matt finds out about it and is immediately figures it out. Dylan's waiting outside while Kelly's talking to Jackie, and Dylan's fucking Matt. It's Matt walks outside and he's like, hey, when those two get talking, he's like, oh yeah, and, I remember that or whatever. And he's like, yeah, you want to fuck Kelly, huh? He doesn't actually come out and say that, but he's like, he basically says, yeah, she likes that volunteer stuff. Weird for you to like that volunteer stuff because you just use your money. You're not like this or whatever. Probably just trying to get in her pants. And and he's like, he closes the door. He just leaves.
Yeah.
Leaves him outside. Closes the door, and it's basically just like, hey, I fucking know what you're doing, kind of thing. And Dylan, for once this season, anyway, acts like the Dylan of old and becomes like a human, and realizes he's being an asshole. So he makes up a story to Kelly. I can't be there with you at the thing because I got to pick up my aunt.
Right, so everybody gets mad at him. And they're like, he's so irresponsible. This was his thing. He's leaving us to do all the work. We're cleaning up his mess.
Yep.
And he did all that for Matt, basically.
Yeah, essentially for Matt. And Matt says to him as when he shows up at the very end or whatever, he's like, "Oh, your aunt, huh? I did your fucking will. You don't have
an aunt." Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, maybe I don't like her enough to put her in the will." He's like, "Well, maybe I owe you a thank you."
If your relationship is so tenuous that him showing up and volunteering with her one day would ruin it, then
you don't
it's
have a
not a good relationship,
yeah,
Matt.
Exactly.
You need to find somebody else.
It was a fucking stuffed episode.
It was 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It was like a double cheeseburger.
Exactly. A triple cheeseburger, even a quadruple cheeseburger.
It was very large, very difficult to digest.
Quintuple cheeseburger.
But
yeah, but it
hopefully.
was a good it was good though, I thought.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I did too. I wish that all the episodes were this good.
Yeah, they had some drama, they had some interesting stuff going on.
Intrigue.
But we will see in December when they come back where we go from here.
Yeah.
But that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell the people where they can find their own family tree.
You can write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.